Before we begin today's meeting, a notice was published in the Pantograph and other media sources posted online at the entrances of this building indicating the intent of the McLean County Board to conduct a public hearing with regards to the Illinois Department of Transportation application fiscal year 2022 for show bus for a Rebuild Illinois Downstate Capital Assistance Grant. I hereby declare the public hearing open. Are there any interested persons or agencies to be heard with respect to the proposal by the McLean County Highway Department for show bus for rural transportation for McLean, Livingston, Iroquois, Ford, DeWitt, and Macon counties? I'll ask again, are there any interested persons or agencies wishing to be heard on this matter? I'll ask a third time, are there any interested persons or agencies wishing to be heard on this matter? Ms. Taylor, has anyone sent in any comments to the county, either electronically or written, regarding the subject of this public hearing?
No, Chairman, they have not.
Okay, thank you. This concludes the public hearing on the Illinois Department of Transportation Show Bus Fiscal Year 2022 Rebuild Illinois Capital Assistance Grant. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to welcome all of you. Thanks for coming. And we have our full McLean County Board meeting this Thursday, August 12, 2021. And at this time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the invocation by Member Johnston.
Thank you, Chair. Tonight, I ask that we take a moment to reflect on the work that we are gathered here to do and the welfare of the people that we are tasked with serving. So if we take a few minutes to think about that. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The clerk, please call the roll.
Shana Wachinski.
Here.
Benjamin Webb. Here. George Wendt. Lori Woolrab. Absent. Josh Barnett.
Present.
Hannah Beer.
Present.
Lindsay Bloomfield.
Present.
Sharon Chung.
Present.
Leah Klein.
Present.
Chuck Erickson.
Present.
William John Friedrich.
Present.
Elizabeth Johnston. Val Lehman.
Present.
Randall Martin.
Present.
Catherine Metzger. Present. Jim Rogau. Present. Susan Schaefer. Here. James Soldner.
Here.
Gerald Thompson.
Present.
John McIntyre.
Here. We have 19 members present, one absent. We do have a quorum. We'll move on to item 5, appearance by members of the public and county employees in reference to an agenda item. We've had no one apply to speak today. So we're going to item 6, consent agenda. The consent agenda is before you. What say you?
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
There's a motion by Member Metzger, second by Member Klein to accept the consent agenda. I've been informed by Member Thompson that he will be abstaining from item C1A. And also I've been informed by Member Bloomfield that she will be abstaining from item F1A. Member Soldner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I need to abstain from item 6B2.
Item 6B2. Please let the record show. Anyone else? Any other comments or discussion, additions, or corrections to our consent agenda? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? The motion has carried. We'll move on. We have No resolutions or congratulations or commendations tonight. Approval of bills are included in their packet as part of the consent agenda. We'll go on to the report of the standing committees, executive committee report from Vice Chairman Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Executive Committee has one item tonight, 7A1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2021 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the County Board and Information Technologies. This will allow us to continue to stream until the end of the year, and this requires a 2/3 vote, and I so move.
A motion by Vice Chairman Solner, second by Member Johnston. Other comments or questions? Discussion. If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Are there any dissenting votes to be recorded? And the motion passes unanimously.
All right, that's all that the Executive Committee has this evening. I'd be glad to answer any questions. Our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes.
Thank you. I'd like you to go back to page 2. There was one transfer ordinance included in our consent agenda. Is there anyone who would like to have a dissenting vote recorded for the transfer ordinances? If none, then we'll deem that item D on the consent agenda, transfer ordinances, passed unanimously. And I'll go on back now to the Finance Committee report, Chairman Metzger.
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre, pardon me. The Finance Committee has no items to present, but our general report can be found on pages 15 through 18 of the unapproved meeting minutes, and I am willing to take any questions if there are any.
Are there any questions? If none, we'll go on to the report of the Health Committee, Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has no items for action today, and our report can be found on pages 2 through 5 of the unapproved minutes packet.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Justice Committee, Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I get started, would it be appropriate, Mr. Chairman, if I combine 7D, 1, D, and E? That'd be,
Yes, was it D and E?
I think that's what we did at exec too.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
hang on just a
Combine
minute.
those.
Yeah, without objection, we'll combine items D and E on the agenda, and you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. The Justice Committee brings for action item 7D1A, request approval of a violent crime victims assistance program grant agreement with the State of Illinois Office of the Attorney General for the McLean County State's Attorney's Office, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Martin. Comments or questions? Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, signify by saying the same sign. Motion is carried.
Next item on the agenda is item 7D1B, request approval of intergovernment grant agreement between the State of Illinois, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and McLean County on behalf of McLean County Court Services, agreement number 192212, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Metzger. Comments, questions, or discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Next item on the agenda is item 7D1C, request approval of grant agreement between Illinois Association of Court-Appointed Special Advocates, DBA Illinois CASA, in the County of McLean, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Chung. Comments or questions? Discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, we are combining 7D1, D, and E. 71D1D is request approval of a violent crime victims assistance program grant agreement with the State of Illinois Office of the Attorney General for the Children's Advocacy Center. And item 7D1E is request approval of a violent crime victims assistance program grant agreement with the State of Illinois Office of the Attorney General for CASA, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Beer. Comments or questions? Discussion. All in favor of approving items D and E, please say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Last item on the agenda for the Justice Committee is item 7D1F. Request approval of a change order modification of contract for grant agreement number 218003 with the Children's Advocacy Center of Illinois, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Thompson. Comments or questions? Discussion. If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? The motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, we have no other items for action. Our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to the report of the Land Use and Development Committee. Chairman Wendt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Land Use and Development Committee has no items for action this evening, and we have our report and the general reports in the minutes. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Property Committee. Chairman Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All of our items were approved in the consent agenda. We bring nothing further for action this evening. A copy of our report may be found in the unapproved minutes packet, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We'll move on to the report of the Transportation Committee. Chairman Soldner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Transportation has one item for action this evening. G1A, request approval of an Illinois Department of Transportation capital assistance application for show bus through the Rebuild Illinois funds. I will add that Ms. Laura Dick, the show bus director, is in the audience if anyone has any questions that I couldn't answer, and I will make that motion.
Motion by Chairman Soldner. Is there a second? Second by Member Thompson. Comments or questions? If none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
That's all transportation has this evening. I'd be glad to answer any questions. Our general report can be found in our unapproved minutes.
Okay, we'll move on to item H on our agenda, interim county administrator, Ms. Taylor.
County administration has no items to present for action or information tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll move on to item 8, appearances by members of the public and county employees in reference to an item not on the agenda. We had no applications for anyone to speak tonight. So we'll move on to item 9, other business and communication. Is there any other business or communication at this time? Member Johnson.
Thank you. I just wanted to let everybody know, if you weren't paying attention, I think we officially crossed 50% of vaccination rate in McLean County. And to remind everybody that vaccinations are still available at the health department. There is an option for registering early, but you can also still do walk-in. And if you want to give them a call, it is 888-5600. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else have any comments or discussion? Member Chung.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to say something quickly about our masking here tonight, and I also want to thank the county administration for this really lovely, ingenious sort of setup. So thank you so much for, taking the social distancing really seriously. I know that many of my colleagues were very concerned when numbers started to go up. Last week in our committee meetings, we wore masks. Many of us did because mask guidance had changed since our last meetings in July. So I'm relieved and thankful to the chairman for writing that email last week recommending that we all wear masks tonight. I'm happy to see that many of us are. And one thing that I've been told time and time again, even when I first joined the board, even before I joined the board, was how we're all willing to overlook any sort of party affiliation or politics in order to just get the stuff done for our county. And so thank you for people who are wearing masks, that we're taking this new Delta variant surge very seriously. So I just wanted to say that. And also, I guess I know that personally people will probably not listen to me about wearing masks because I'm part of the bad side. So if you do feel the sort of want to use your platform to sort of advocate for public health and caring about your fellow person here in our county, I would really highly suggest that. So thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Anyone else have any other things for this evening? If not, well, all of you travel safely and have a good evening, and this meeting is adjourned.